So let us have a world of ordinary people living life the way God wants us to. And if we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary.
Yay! It's a toast.
Igbo not to justify you. It's Moments with Taikins. Somebody sent a message to me. I was just telling my cameraman now that someone sent a message to me telling me that I should give this to him. And I said, how? He said, I love it. Anytime you come on your program, I love this. I said, okay, if you want it, I will need to contact my chairman because I actually inherited this. The same way you're loving this statue is the same way I'm loving it. If you notice all of my programs, you will always find it there. The woman said to me that this particular statue gives her inspiration. And I said, okay, the same way it's giving you inspiration is the same way it's also giving Taye Akikpelu an inspiration too, because once you look at it, you want to meditate. You want to close your eyes, and that's why you find it on my program all the time. Whenever I'm on board, you'll find it there. But my manager programs, Miriam Oke, said to me, no, I actually wanted it to be on all of our programs. But she said, no, it's reflecting. What I want is flower. I said, don't worry, we'll get flower. How I wish you understand what this statue represents in our lives. Anyway, it's Moments with Taikins. Good morning, Lagos, Nigeria. Well, thank you so very much for standing in there, for connecting with us on Opportune Television, where we churn out interesting programs. Taye Akekpalu is my name. Today we'll be looking at another interesting topic that has to do with you. You. Your child, your son, your daughter, your husband, you yourself. All around us, it is there. It's happening. And everybody is looking away like Kokomi. If you say Kokomi, your child will be involved. If you say you're Kokomi, you've trained your child to an extent that nobody can do anything with your child. Hello. Wait until that child gets into the university. Wait until that child of yours that you think you have cared, that you've taken care of appropriately, get into the society. Then you will now understand that the society has a way of rubbing off on some of our children that are not properly groomed and that doesn't have their own mind set. What are we going to be looking at today? I'm sure you want to find out after this breather. Please stay. We'll be right back. Moments with Taikins welcomes you.
So let us have a world of ordinary people living life the way God wants us to. And if we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary.
Blue Lagoon Hotels, a home away from home with world-class hospitality, comfortable and affordable rooms, conference and meeting rooms for all occasions, open space and co-working area, 24-hour restaurant and bar, providing both local, international and continental cuisines, live music and entertainment on regular basis, constant power supply and watertight security in and around our premises. Blue Lagoon Hotels, situated at number 16 Tunji Adewoye Street, off Afurubin Road, Ijegun, Lagos State. And for the inquiries, call 080-5668-7855 or 080-6527-3657. You can also visit us at www.bluelagoonhotels.ng. Blue Lagoon Hotels. Hospitality is our business.
Welcome back. It's Moments with Taikins. This is the only inspirational program on TV. Check it anywhere, all over in Nigeria, where we tell meaningful stories. And we also look at interesting topics of concern too. Like I said before we went on a short break, I mentioned to you that our talking point today has to do with the entire nation. If you are a president, it has to do with you. If you are a governor, it has to do with you. If you are the head of any of this government parastatals, it has to do with you. If you are a guardian and counselor, it has to do with you. If you are a governor, if you are a mother or father, it has to do with you. Because the rate at which our talking point is going today in our society, I think there is need for us to look inward and look for ways to tackle this problem before it gets out of hand. Because when you say as a parent you've taken care of your child appropriately, and that child finishes up from the university or secondary school and gets into the society, if care is not taken, the society will rub off on that child that doesn't have a mindset of his or her own. What exactly am I talking too much? What is our talking point? Today we want to look at the use of drugs amongst our youth. The use of drugs amongst our youth. And to do justice to our talking points is Babatunde Akanwo. Again, we'll be looking at today's topic with critical intent. We'll take it from the angle of a father, a grandfather that he is, her husband, and a retired director. We will take it from there and we'll now try and see if we can prefer solution to our talking points today. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're looking very sweet.
Thank you.
And thank you, mommy. Thank you, mommy Akanwo, for taking care of daddy Akanwo for us. You're looking very radiant.
We thank God for everything. God has been so gracious.
We're glad to have you again, sir.
Thank you.
All right, straight to the business of the day. What does drug abuse, what does it mean? Drug abuse, what does it mean in your own terms, sir?
Well, it all depends on the perspective.
Okay.
You want to look at it. Some people call it medication.
Yeah, medication is medicine that you take from the hospital.
But in our local parlance, the word drug is more commonly used than medication.
Okay.
So I want to take it from there.
If you say if you use drug overseas, if you use drug in UK, hello, I just purchased some few drugs for you now. I have this, I have that. Before you say Jack Robinson, somebody will call the police and say, somebody has gone to get drugs,
yes.
And the person will be arrested.
For this discussion, I will use the word drug more often.
Okay, sir.
For me.
So we should. I want us to. Sir, I would prefer that we separate it and we use it appropriately.
I'm coming.
Medicine, medication, drugs. Are they the same?
I'm coming. Like I said, for this purpose, what you are is semantical.
Okay.
It's semantical. Whether you are saying drug, whether you are saying medication or what. But for the purpose of this discussion, I will use them interchangeably.
Okay, sir.
You see, drug per se is not that it's bad. But there are three categories of it, or two.
Okay.
One, that's what they call misuse of drug. That's what they call overdose. That's what they call addiction of drug.
Addiction.
I assume the one we want to talk about this morning
is addiction. Addiction.
So I will prefer to talk less on misuse of drug or overdose of drugs, which can be done accidentally by anybody, either juveniles or adults. Anybody can misuse drug. Anybody can overtake drug more than as prescribed by the doctor. That can happen to anybody. But addiction is when you have a total reliance on a particular drug, that without the drug you cannot exist. And if you exist, you will not exist comfortably. Addiction is the drug you take every day comes from addiction. Without it, you cannot survive. You cannot perform optimally like you normally do. That anybody that sees you will know that you have what they call withdrawal syndrome. Some of these drugs includes cannabis, tramadol, but the most important, or not even the most important, the commonest of them all, they have heroin, they have this morphine, they have this other. There's so many of them, you know. But the commonest of them, especially in this our own environment, is cannabis. Cannabis. I'm not talking about alcohol now.
Oh yes.
Because alcohol too has addictive tendencies. I'm not talking about that. No. We are talking about drug.
Our talking point is drug abuse. The use of drugs.
You may believe or you may not want to believe. Some of these things can be generic.
How do you mean?
I'm not a doctor.
Okay.
But some of these things can be generic.
Generic
I want to start from the home. The parents that are indulged, some of the parents that are indulged in drug taking, some of their offspring, some of their children have tendencies to become drug abusers in the future. Even some of the siblings can also become drug abusers if care is not taken. But in Nigeria today, one of the major causes of drug abuse is especially among youths, because we have drug abuse is common among the ages of 15 to about 39. And surprisingly, according to the Office of Statistics, about 14 million Nigerians are victims of this.
About 14 million
are victims of drug addiction.
Kilo waku.
Kilo fa. And why are people indulged in
drug taking?
Let's start from home, just like you said earlier. It will not surprise you that many of these things begin from home. And those homes that we are talking about, they are not general homes. They are homes that belong to, they are dilapidated homes where mother and father
are not together.
And they do not, and when they are together, they do not talk in the same language. And probably you may even have, not even probably, poverty is another major cause of drug use and addiction, most especially in a country like Nigeria, where poverty is so prevalent. You see, many of these children that belong to these categories of people, of family we are talking about, they are so delusional about life, so delusional that they want to live. They want to live above their means, and they deceive themselves a lot, and they want to belong. That's right. What they want to belong.
They want to belong
to where they do not. Where they are not. So they are so delusional about life.
They want to belong.
They want to belong, and in trying to belong, they start to take some of these drugs, little by little. We have them all around, but the most unfortunate thing is
they want to belong now has to do with peer influence.
Peer influence. That's the right word. Peer influence. I want to do what Mr. A is doing. I want to do like Mr. B is doing.
I don't want to be tagged an Omo Daddy or Omo Mommy.
They call so many Gen Z.
Gen Z.
They call them so many names now. And because they want to belong, so they want to do what the other man is doing, whether it is right or wrong. And the most of what surprises me most is, despite all our institutions, I mean religious institutions, all these things, they are at a very high ebb. So what are we saying? Are we saying these religious institutions, both mosques and churches, are not helpful?
Now, what is the role of NAFDAC? What is the role of NDLEA? How come these things are coming into the country, are being imported, and nobody is seeing it?
Well, I cannot answer that question satisfactorily. But what happens? You are in Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria. Now, many of these institutions you have mentioned are more or less interested in sensational news.
Sensational. They are interested in sensational news.
Many of these drugs areas they know, and surprisingly, so when the Agbofiros, those people who are supposed to do the arrest, they are also partakers of this thing.
That's just the unfortunate thing.
We see them all around the place.
That's just the unfortunate thing.
Are you telling me they don't know where these drugs are available?
That's just the unfortunate thing.
Tell them these drugs are being sold here in this corner. They know
the dark spots where these things are sold.
They are also partakers. They are also interested, and they look the other way. That is sickening, and it's nauseating to allow such things to happen in our community. I've only been fair to say about 40 million people are smokers or whatever. I haven't been moderate. It could be more than that.
I'm sure it is more than that.
But I think one of the greatest reasons of this thing is poverty.
Now, as a father, does it not worry you when you drive around Lagos and you find some children sleeping while standing? Some are like this, some are already bending.
They are having withdrawal syndrome.
You hear kako be chicken, you know, and what you use all the time, and you know that this thing does not conform with your system. Why don't you just stop it? Does it not worry you as a father?
It does worry me. It does. But when you take a cursory look at those areas where those children are from, they are from the downtrodden part of the society. I don't want to mention names. I don't want to name names. We know them in this community. We know the type of beaches. We know the type of houses they belong to. We know their fathers. We know their mother. These are people that are relatively poor. And because these children are delusional, they want to belong. They want to be Gen Z. They want to be seen. And like I always say to some of my friends, and to ba fe kon ri un.
O no marry.
O fe kon ri, ṣé o lo fe kon ri e, but o fe ri e by tulas ni, wọ́n ò ní rí ẹ rárá. Because the criminality can be associated with drugs. That is why we have so many of criminals. They will not allow you to sleep at night. They will not. These are the boys who indulge in this kind of thing during the day. A friend of mine is there, a reverend. He's doing a lot in this community to revive some of these people we are talking about. He calls them all the time. He invites them for house fellowship. He introduced church to them. He introduced God to them. He's over there. He's a friend of mine. He's a reverend. He's doing his best to ensure that these people change. But after the service, what do?
They go back to the basics. And again, the role of parenting, sir. What do you think actually went wrong? Because there's an adage in Yoruba that says, you know, I don't know how to interpret that. Please forgive me in English. You know, if a child who is well groomed will not go out of the teachings of the parents and say, I'm going outside of what we've been taught. You know, the role of parenting in all of this discussion, what's the role of parenting? How did parents lose it? Because you know your child, there is no way your child will be on drugs that you will not know as a parent.
Some of these parents,
Is it that the children are the ones taking care of them?
Of
because
course.
They can no longer talk.
Yes, of course. Some of these parents can no longer talk because they are not in charge. As soon as my children are, I'm in charge. When I get another,
who wouldn't be in charge of their children?
I tell them the truth that what you have just said is not right. And unless you say sorry, I'm not leaving you alone. You are not moving out until you should learn how to say, Daddy, Mommy, I am sorry, I apologize. And sometimes when I feel that I'm wrong, vice versa, I say the same thing. Hey, Lagbaja, what I said before, I said it out of annoyance. That's the way we coexist in my domain.
That's a home.
But
that's a home.
When you have a father that cannot provide, cannot provide for the son or for the daughter, and a father that's not, if a father or mother that has a child in secondary school or in the university, who knows the child does not work, who knows the child does not have a source of living, and the child ọmọ yóò ṣàgbàfọ̀ ó kaṣọ wálé ẹrójú olè ẹ̀mú, where do you think this money is coming from? There is a lacuna somewhere. There's a question to be asked. So these are the things. Poverty has a role. Poverty is number one. Poverty.
But these drugs don't come cheap, sir.
If this is what they call addiction, the drug don't come cheap. These boys will have a way. That is why they will not allow you to sleep at night. They will come to disturb you so that they can get money to get these drugs in order to be delusional during the day. Then you see them with a high-ranking phone, high-ranking shirt, because they want to belong. You see, like I always say, many of these boys don't like the process. They are not interested in the process.
Then if you don't,
they are interested in the result.
If you're not interested in the process, then you have yourself to blame at the end of the day.
I mean, we just had some talk before we started this program. Did you just get here one day?
No.
There's a process. The failure to go through that process will tantamount to wahala.
Yeah.
You are doing it gradually.
It's a gradual process.
It's a gradual.
And that's what life is. Life is a gradual process.
There's no classmate in life.
Kò sí
classmate about your school. You go at your own pace. I go at my own pace.
No rushing.
If we happen to meet again, fine. If not, that is the end of it. There is no classmate in life. You do your thing, I do my thing. Once we leave the classroom, that's the end of it. We went to university together. We went to primary school together. That's the end of it. But just because it's my classmate, we have to run at the same pace.
No.
We have to do things like no. Life is not like that. God did not build this world like that. Everything takes time. But a lot of people don't want to go through the process. They are interested in the result.
How about parents giving their own responsibility to the children? Now, and advising them to take charge. You hear some parents will say, "Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ lára mi o."
Yo, look, listen to that question.
Oh, no, so. I'm like, are you okay? How old are you? That you are indulging such child in this type of act.
Without knowing, the parent or the mother or the father is endorsing criminality without knowing. Somebody ọkọ mi káàbọ̀ okule kilo move up wega. Nonsense. I told you a while ago, in those days, you came to Lagos 10 years ago. All of a sudden, another person came to Lagos 2 years after or whatever, or a year after or whatever, and he brings in a Bitu, for example. Your mother, your father, before you wake up in the morning, will go to the next alpha or imam. Please, ẹ wá bá mi tẹ ọmọ yìí nú. Iṣẹ́ wo ló ń ṣe lóko? Ẹni tó ti lọ 10 years ago, ẹ̀wù tó kò tí ì wálé láti jọ yìí. Ojú ń tì láti wá nígbà tí o ti rí kan tó ń live for honest life. But this another one that got to Lagos, o join bad gangs.
In no time, he started using oríṣiríṣi mọ́tò.
Wọ́n máa celebrate ẹni.
Celebrating mediocrity.
They will say mediocrity, the criminality of all kinds. And if what don't share that now, you become an idiot. This is the point, and this is the bane of our society. He starts from home. Ọmọ yóò ṣàgbàfọ̀ nkaṣọ wálé ẹrújú olè ẹmú ọmọ òṣìṣẹ́ kó ṣàbọ̀ ó dé ṣe ògbà tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà sí ó ra kinní fún ẹ ó ṣe kinní kan ó ṣe gbàṣàwó ó tún kì í àlàmú àlàdé ó ṣe ọwọ́ àmàròkè ọwọ́ olóròkè in no time wọ́n bá bára ń kirikiri ní kò sí kankan ìbílẹ̀ àmàròkè sí nìyẹn ó máa kirikiri ló fi ń ṣeré yẹn.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, no. Another question is, we know that in those days when Nigeria was Nigeria, okay, the whole essence of establishing NDLEA,
they are working.
is to tackle the misuse of drugs and to tidy up that area of importation of drugs. Is it that we no longer have NDLEA?
They are doing a fantastic job.
How?
They are doing a fantastic job.
I remember sometimes in Agege when I used to have a business there.
Yes.
There was an NDA outfit.
Yes.
Or office in Agege local government secretariat.
You can forget it.
Then they have a way of capturing these children. They will capture them anywhere they find them doing drugs, doing heroin, Indian hems. An NDLEA officer will be there to arrest, to effect arrest on these children, on these youths. Is it that we don't have NDLEA money?
We have NDLEA. We have Olopa. We have other agencies. But
this particular agency is meant to tackle drug intake.
I tell you without missing words that many of these agencies have compromised. I'm not saying they don't arrest them at the airport. They don't arrest them at port authority and all whatnot. These are sensational. These are news items. I'm telling you, where the majority of these bad boys are in the corners.
They know.
And they know them.
There was a day I was inside the traffic around somewhere in Agege area. And these guys, this youth, they were just, they had themselves positioned in one place in that traffic. The moment they sighted the soldier vehicle coming,
yes,
they all started running helter skelter.
Yes,
they started running helter skelter. I saw one who took the drug pack and hid it inside the gutter, left it there and came out like nothing happened. I heard word like Ojombo, 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 and that was it. And the moment Ojo came, I was in the car with my crew. The moment the Ojo people drove into that environment, hello sir, Ojo parked. Ojo are the security personnel. They parked their vehicle beside the road, came down and went straight into where they are selling these things.
And then what happened?
So I was now waiting to see if they will effect any arrest.
I told you they have compromised. They are friends. The only time they do some of this arrest is when there is an issue of sharing pattern. Money has taken over everything. Money has taken over virtually everything in Nigeria.
How did we lose it?
We lost it because we have lost our values. We have lost our values. The parents who are supposed to teach the children moral values are also after money. And because the children see all these things, they copy them. How do I applaud? I can't just imagine that. My son is at home now. He's waiting to be called for youth service. And he comes in, he says, hey, Daddy, I've brought you this. So I brought you this.
The question you will ask him is, where did you get it from?
Even the moment he sees my eyes. They know when I talk, they know when I don't talk. When I don't talk on issues, they know I've not given it a pass mark.
Baba today, Ako.
Yes, sir.
I feel we should. How do we go back to the basics? How do we go back to what parenting were in your days, in those days? How can we? What should we do? What can the worship centers do? The alfas, the imams, the church, the heads of churches. What can they do? I mean, we need to begin to look at it. This younger generation are dying gradually. Most of them have nothing to show. You find them celebrating drugs online, taking it without checks. And no one is doing anything.
People go to churches.
Your grandchild, my grandchild are in trouble.
Well, I will always say it, that the children of the downtrodden, if they are not taken care of, they will not allow the children of the well-to-do to sleep.
It's happening now.
That is what is happening today.
It's happening.
And that is why I wouldn't want you to let us apportion too much blames on either the mosque or the churches. People go to mosque or churches. Do you know now that they still in churches?
Yes.
We are now compelled to take, and wherever we are going to do Thanksgiving, we are not compelled to go with our bags, to go with our whatever. You are even advised they will be announced before, because people come to church for different purposes. You see youths in churches.
The fear of God is is no longer in the minds of everybody. Now I have something written out here.
Yeah.
According to WHO,
yes.
It says the repeated use of a substance that causes harm to an individual's health or well-being
addiction.
Is addiction.
Yes.
Now, where do we go from here? We need to go on a short break. The program is Moments with Taikins. We're having a beautiful time out with our guest, Babatunde Akanwo. When we return from this interlude, we'll continue from where we stopped. Stay, please. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Blue Lagoon Hotels, a home away from home with world-class hospitality, comfortable and affordable rooms, conference and meeting rooms for all occasions, open space and co-working area, 24-hour restaurant and bar, providing both local, international and continental cuisines, live music and entertainment on regular basis, constant power supply and watertight security in and around our premises. Blue Lagoon Hotels, situated at number 16 Tunji Adewoye Street, off Afurubin Road, Ijegun, Lagos State. And for the inquiries, call 080-5668-7855 or 080-6527-3657. You can also visit us at www.bluelagoonhotels.ng. Blue Lagoon Hotels. Hospitality is our business.
Are you looking for a good school? Look no further. Trinity International College is the best place for your child. Trinity International College is a purpose-built co-educational school with a full boarding facility. It is committed to giving every child the best quality education in a serene environment with an unflinching focus on excellence in academic and moral values in partnership with Christ. We offer both Nigerian and British curriculum using our well-equipped facilities. A school with a difference, a school where we can groom confident, well-behaved, creative and innovative thinkers. We encourage big aspiration among our students and make them believe in their dreams. The teachers are trained to accommodate varying capacity, providing individual attention to every child to ensure none is lost in the crowd. Call your child today. For inquiries, call
Get ready for Governance 57 with Mariam, the dynamic political talk show where we dive deep into the art of governance, from trending political issues to the latest controversies. We break it all down and shine a spotlight on grassroots governance, exploring how decisions at the local level shapes our lives. Governance 57. Don't shy away from the tough conversations. Join us every Wednesday, 12:15 p.m. as we discuss, debate, and deliver the insights you need to stay informed.
People, extraordinary.
Repeated use of substance that causes harm to an individual's health or well-being is called drug abuse, according to WHO.
Yes.
What will make any sane person? What will encourage any rightful thinking human being to abuse drugs? Why? Anyway, if you're just joining us, the program is Moments with Taikins. I'm beginning to be emotional because we can talk about the youth, the adults, because we know that yes, A, B, C, D, E, they've reached the level of Z. Now the younger ones are just coming, and they feel that is the right thing. Peer pressure, peer influence. Most of them are doing drugs today because they want to belong, according to what our guests said. Now, what are the causes of drug abuse? What will make anyone decide that I want to abuse drug? Ordinary medicine, paracetamol, people abuse it. You are meant to take two tablets at once. Is either you take in the morning, afternoon, or evening, as prescribed by the doctor. But some people will still tell you that, oh, mi le lo paracetamol meji o kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ lára mi. I don't understand.
And they develop tolerance for it.
I don't understand. As strong as Alabukun is, some people take as much as 4 sachets.
Yes.
Saying that it cannot work on them.
Yes.
That is an abuse of drugs.
Yes.
And these things has a way of eating back into your system.
Yes.
I am not even talking about these medicines I've mentioned. It's just an ayaba, you know. But the one we are talking about today is the use of drugs amongst our youth. The use of drugs is so much to the extent that parents, politicians, government, everybody is just looking away. And when you say kokomi, it's going to get back at us. What are the causes? You know, why would anybody want to misuse drugs, knowing full well that this is very harmful for one's health?
Thank you. There are so many reasons why people abuse drugs. You have just cleverly mentioned one of them. And one of them is this misuse or overdose. When a person misuses or has a tendency to misuse drugs, and it goes on like that, not minding doctors' directives, eventually that kind of a person becomes addictive to such drugs. And when it becomes addictive to such drugs, the body becomes
used to it.
Tolerant.
Exactly.
So that's why you ask some people about why the doctor to prescribe a. But because of misuse or overdose, that because the body has become used to the drug, that it doesn't mean anything to the body again. And because of the persistent use, he continues to use it persistently. And eventually, either without knowing, it becomes
a part of the person.
And that is addiction. Another major reason why people are addicted is you have mentioned the pressure group, you know.
Peer influence.
Peer influence, you know. I want to be like the Jones. I want to be like the Kinikon. That's so delusional about life.
I mean, this the younger generation. They can't. Most of them cannot do without drugs.
They can't.
That's what worries me. They cannot do without it. And you see some of them putting on goggle all over the place because ojú ti tán red.
Another major kini is depression.
What kind of depression?
Depression, madam.
From which angle?
Depression is all over now, especially judging from the economy point of view and judging from the way Nigeria is now. A lot of people are depressed.
So the use of drug is what will help them out.
That is what they think.
Hey.
That is even people who use alcohol. There is a lot of people that drink alcohol, that drink beer and whatnot. They think when they take
making a flimsy excuses.
They believe after taking this thing, or when they get annoyed, they go outside and get drunk.
Once your eye clears off, it will come back again. The problem does still continues, okay?
I mean, nǹkan tó wà lọ́kàn ẹ̀.
ló sọ síta yẹn.
o ti mí ni mi tẹ́lẹ̀. So you don't come with this baloney and telling me that you were drunk. No, you wanted to abuse me because you are only looking for an opportunity to do so. So you see, we need to agree with that. There's depression, and government. Let me tell you one thing: we have not made mention of government in all these discussions we are having. The government has a lot to do with these juvenile delinquencies. All these issues, government are. A lot of these people, a lot of them are graduates. When you talk to some of them and hear them speak, you'll be amazed. Yeah. You'll be flabbergasted the way some of them talk to you when they are normal.
They are not illiterate. Most of them are not illiterate.
They are not. For crying out loud, they are not illiterate. They are not illiterate. But something led to it. What? I want to be like, you see.
I want to be like Lagbaja.
I want to be like Lagbaja. Lagbaja Lokini, Lagbaja Lokilo de Mino Lelo. Nígbà tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé we have lost our priorities. We have lost our priorities. You know, ẹni tó bá mọ́ délé nìyẹn máa yín. Not minding the source. So in doing so, only let wọ́n ní ká ṣe òrùlé àṣekà. Bí ọba ṣe lọ́sàn-án kò ní fara rí lọ. So ẹni tó fẹ́ ṣe kà ó láti high ojú lásán òye ṣe wèrè.
Now, if you say there is depression, if you say there is a problem economically, that's the reason why people are depressed.
Oh, they are depressed.
I remember this song. I think it's composed by Adeolu Akinsanya.
Okay.
Baba Eto.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember it.
Ìlú
lé o kò sówó lóde.
That has been on. Before I was born.
I wanted to say. Yes. That before I was born,
that has been
Ilu has ever been laying.
The national anthem.
It's a national anthem. So why would anybody climb on? Obìnrin kígbe, ọkùnrin kígbe.
Mi ò tí gbọ́njọ́ tó ti bí mi tí màá gbọ́ Nàìjíríà pé
ìlú olé owó pọ̀ lóde.
Mi ò tí gbọ́. But lẹ́nu because our need, the desire, ọmọ ọ̀sìn. Wọn ò fẹ́ rá kán tó rìn, and nobody bothers. Everybody continue to applaud nonsense. You see, somebody is doing something that is wrong, and he takes it as the norm of the society. That is the normative value for him.
That's just the unfortunate part of it. You see some elders, some adults encouraging. Ẹ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀.
Look at that. What's that supposed to mean? That's to mean that you are conservative. Oh, tẹ̀láyé. Mi ò dẹ̀ lè tẹ̀láyé lórí ìrànkùn nǹkan tí ò dáa.
Okay. Let's join the conversation. If you feel up to it, the number to call is 0706 143 7670. MCR, please let's have the number on our screen. 0706 143 7670. Once again, 0706 143 7670 is the number to call. And our talking point this morning, a moment with Taikins, is the use of drugs amongst our youth. Does it bother you as a parent? Now, as a clergyman, if you're watching, or as an individual who is watching this program, does it bother you from wherever it is you're watching from? Please feel free to connect with us and join the conversation. You can hear your view. You're free to hear your view. We have very limited time, but we'll deal with it as the program progresses. What you take on our talking points today, or should we just ignore and say it doesn't bother me, not be my pikin? I remembered growing up, so I don't know what it was in your days, and I know yours will be stricter, that parents look out for other people's children. That what are you doing there? Now you shouldn't be there. Your child should not be there. There's a way parents, look out for other people's children. But what's happening nowadays?
Not anymore.
It's now a mind your own business kind of thing.
It appears we have lost our cultural values. It appears we have lost our cultural values. And like I always tell my children, some of them are telling me, Daddy, eventually you join us in this here, you join us there. I say, if you give me a choice, I'd rather be here.
And enjoy my life.
I prefer to get old here rather than to be dumped in old people's home abroad. Old age is a virtue in Nigeria. Abroad, it's a regret. I don't want to be dumped in a old people's home. I know what it is. I was abroad. I saw them. By the time I get old, my children, my great-grandchildren will be around me. Grandpa is my joy. My day is made.
That's the joy.
But we appear to have lost
Grandpa tell us stories.
Stories, But it appears we have lost our cultural values. We try to copy what they do abroad.
Is it copycatting that has caused all this problem?
Of course. Many of these things we see on the film, we see on the screen, they are causative in a way. They are part of it. The home is bad. There is no cohesion again. The mother and father are not together again. And even when they are together, they are not together in thoughts and values. While you are saying this is wrong, my name is Babatunde Abayomi Akanwo. I'm different. That makes me different from the others. I don't belong to the others. I don't belong to the others. I am whom I am. That's all. And that gives me a lot of joy. And my children sometimes when I do something, my children, especially one of them, one of them somewhere in Canada there, she will tell me, Daddy, you are not brought up that way. She gives. She is a good giver. And sometimes when I feel that she gives more than expectation, I get like human being.
Daddy will
and
not
Daddy,
brought up
even while you are saying this because you are not working again. While you were in the office, we knew how you are giving. So perhaps I've taken after you. You're
right.
You damn right. Poverty don't make me feel that way. That is what they have been brought up in a certain pattern. Okay, this is not the way we are brought up. We bond together.
I remember some times ago when I wanted to travel to the United States.
Yeah.
My father said to me, remember the daughter of him whom you are. At what point did we stop remembering the children of whom we are? Is it that we don't understand that word?
Still again, we have lost, we have dumped, we have jettisoned our cultural values. Even the one we hear in churches and mosques, do we practice them? When even some churches too don't care. No, I was in a local church. I'm sorry to make reference to it, and all of a sudden, they realized that the money was astronomical, was jumping up at a very high rate. They pondered. They were wondering, who are all of a sudden this our daily collection is rising astronomically. The pastor became worried. And he said, no, I think we have to call the others. I think we have to do some kind of investigation to know who is doing this. When the diligent investigation, when that was done, they knew it was a man who is doing it. And they had to call the man to find out what he does for a living. Where was he getting the money he was giving the church?
That was then, not now.
How many churches could do that today? Instead of that,
you cannot go and steal from somewhere and come and be putting it in the pocket of
they God. Wanted to know where the man was getting the money. He was putting it because the thing was astronomical.
The income was increasing by the day.
By the day. They had to find out who was doing that. They discovered it was this man that was doing it. When the man left the church in shame, because the pastor said, no, this kind of money is not acceptable here. It's against my own doctrine. How many churches can do that today? Instead of that, so that they
will turn the person to Baba just
straight. No doubt about that.
I be matron, I be patron.
I didn't no doubt about that. See, we have lost our cultural, we have missed it, and we have missed it. We have turned ourselves. You see, many of these things they see abroad. They take it on a face value that is how life is, and that is not the way life is. I was not brought up that way.
They themselves are abroad. They are also trying to look for ways to tackle their issues.
They have issues.
Issues
that are relative to their own place. You know, I don't want to be old. I don't want to be an old man in the US, for an example. I want to be here where my children are, where my great-grandchildren are. I'll be playing with them. They play with me. You know, not where I will be dumped, and some of the children will be coming to see me in every 3 months, every 2 months, and when they are leaving, I'll be crying. I want where they can always come to see where we used to live, where we used to be before we moved here. I used to jealous the landlord and the landlady. Anytime the children came, this one will come with banana, this one will come with oranges, this one will come with eggs, this one will come with this one. And
these are children that have been well groomed.
Many of them, so 2 of them are professors. You know, so when they came and they were about to go, you will see joy radiating in the faces
of the parents.
The man, the father will stay upstairs and be doing this. We pray for them. The Lord will save you. The Lord, I will say, this is
when I grow up, I want to have this type of family.
This is the kind of life I want, and that is what I'm doing to my children. And they all know me. We fight a lot, we disagree, but we disagree intelligently. Where I feel I'm wrong, I will say, okay, I'm awfully sorry. I did it to one of them the other day. I said, I'm sorry. Maybe I overjived. He said, maybe age is taking its toll on me. I agree with
maybe because you are retired, you're no longer busy.
I said that to her.
You're no longer busy.
I'm no longer busy. That's why sometimes I make.
You feel you could take it up on the children.
You know, so I agree that the children of today are different from the different in terms of education or whatnot. They are different from the children of our own time. I dare not argue with my father during my own time.
Who born monkey banana?
Now they are ready to score it out with me until maybe I agree with them, or they will say, Daddy, you are right.
Anyway, I want to say thank you very much now, sir. You've said it all.
Thank you.
You've said it all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Anyway, before you go, I would like for you to leave a parting shot, just few words.
One, the great thing, the belief in God, Almighty, and do not compete with anybody. Be yourself. Nobody is competing with you. Therefore, do things at your own pace.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do things at your own pace. Thank you very much.
No competition.
Babatunde Abayomi.
Akanwo,
sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Agbanya Tubodale, like they say in Yoruba.
Amen.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. And we say thank you to our viewer out there. Thank you to the entire production crew. We appreciate you. My producer, Ode, thank you very much for being there. David Adekoju, thank you. All of you appreciate you. The makeup artist too, Diary's World. Sheung Adewale, thank you for making me beautiful.
She's fantastic.
She's a fantastic girl. Thank you very much. Until we come your way with another interesting topic tomorrow. Please keep living in the atmosphere of miracle and take care of your children. Taye Akekpelu is my name. Bye for now.